Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from where you are watching me from. I hope you're doing well. So happy new year. Well, from this side I'm doing well and I thank God. I thank God for that year that has just ended, the year 2022. And honestly, from January to December, that was God's grace. I can't say that that was me. No, no. No, that wasn't me. That was the grace of God. And I believe that that was the same thing for you. God carried you and your loved ones and your family all through that year. That was God's grace. And I believe that will be the case even for this year. With God by our side, all things are going to run well. Things are going to be okay. So this year is so fresh. It's so green. And I believe I have a message for you. And the message that I have is about getting out of our comfort zones. Yes, getting out of our comfort zones. I believe in life we get to a point where we are so much comfortable, where we are okay with everything. We are fine with things running out, running the way they are running, even when they are not running or going as expected, even when things are getting or going towards the wrong directions, but we are just comfortable with the way things are running in our marriages, comfortable with the way things are going even in our workplaces, in our situations, even in our Christian life. Even when there is no growth, even when there is no expansion, there is no bearing fruit, we are just there. To be honest, I think there is like a spirit that hinders us from expansion, from growth, from getting out of our comfort zones. And I really tend to think that getting the zones we are talking about are not really about comfort per se. Because if you look at things from a different perspective, from a different dimension, we are not living the kind of lives that we aspire to live. We are not living the kind of lives that we deserve. No, that is not the case. So honestly, it's not about the comfort zones, but we fear taking risks. So there is an element of fear, and fear is not of God. So that is something we should fight. Because unless we break those chains of fear and get out of our comfort zones, we are not going to grow. There is not going to be change. There is not going to be room for expansion. So we have to get out of our comfort zones no matter what. And this year, we are going to do things differently. We are going to run our affairs, our things differently. We are going to let in God and get out of our comfort zones by all means. Because I believe that you and I want to be blessed, isn't it? So how do we do that? We let God to order our steps and we get out of our comfort zones, because this year we are going to witness growth from grass to grace. It's a year of elevation from one level to another, one level of grace to another level. So how do we get out of our comfort zones? And the first thing that I think is really important is learning to get comfortable with discomfort. Yes, I know ukipata shinda you don't feel comfortable, but we need to get sometimes we need to get comfortable, because you cannot run away from your problems. So that now, instead of running away from your problems in life, you're going to face them. Instead of running away from your challenges, you're going to accept the challenge. You're going to accept that challenge and face it. Because unless you face a situation that is disturbing you, you cannot not actually overcome it. So this year, we are not going to run away from our situations. We are going to face them. You could be having issues with finances, issues with relationships, issues in your workplace. But running away from those issues is not going to change it in any way. For instance, if you have a conflict between you and your relatives, you and your mom and dad, running away is not going to solve anything. You might go and run away to Nairobi and stay for 6 or 7 years or 10 years, name it. But at the end of the day, you're not going to have peace of mind. Yes? If it is about the parents, the blessings of your parents are not going to follow you. So instead of running away and staying in, for instance, in Nairobi or name whatever town that could be, go face your parents. Talk. Sit down and talk. I believe there is no problem that cannot be solved. The same case in our finances. We cannot run away. If your business is not doing well, you cannot run away. Like you funge na uende, no way. Life has to continue. And if life is not stopping and it's continuing, we have to also face our situations so that we live the kind of life that we want. The other thing is by becoming aware of what is outside our comfort zones. Yes, I know and I believe that there are those things that you really deserve and wish that you do in your life. But for one reason or another, we find that we have not done those things. And what really hinders us from doing those things is one thing, that spirit of procrastination. This year, we are not going to procrastinate. Whatever you wish to do, do it now because this is the time. No procrastination. Yes, that is an evil spirit. It is something that is going to make us stagnate and we are going to do away with it. Sometimes we don't start things that we want to do because we fear to fail. We fear to get disappointed. For instance, I'm going to give an example with myself. You and I fear failing, yes? And because, for instance, I'm in the teaching profession, I might fear to start a business because I fear to fail or to get disappointed. But unless I start that business, I can't even gauge myself and know how I'm even doing in business. So I have to make a step of faith and start. So look at what you get, what is outside your comfort zone rather. Like I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. I get a monthly pay every month. I need not get comfortable with that monthly salary. I need to look at what is outside my comfort zone. I can, for instance, start a business. I can do farming. There are a lot of things that I can do. And I believe it is the same thing for you. Let us not get comfortable with our current situations. Start. Because that might also act as a motivation factor for you. I can start a business and ikue at the end of the day hadi inanipea huo msukumo wa kuanza other businesses. So this year, you and I are going to start new things. We are going to do things differently. The other thing that we need to do is we need to start seeing failure as our teacher. I know people fear failing, I included. Hey, hakuna mtu upenda kufail. In our project, we want to see 100% percent success in whatever we do. But we need to see failure as our teacher. Let us learn from our experiences. Let us learn from our mistakes. Let us be positive. When you fail, that is not the end of the journey. In fact, you need to take notes so that the next time you are doing the same thing, you're not going to repeat the same mistakes. You're going to do it better. Like, let me give an example with somebody who is learning how to drive a vehicle. Ukiambiwa, don't do this, and you're told why. Yes? Or maybe umeendesha gari ume accelerate, ukago hit ingine iko mbele yako because you are not able to control yourself. and you don't do that, I'm sure the next time you're going to be driving, you're going to be very careful. And that is the same case even in our life. Mistakes are there, and we cannot avoid them. We cannot run away from them, but we learn from them. So let us be positive-minded people this year. And I believe that the most successful people that we have in the world have failed numerous times. They have failed 1,000 times for them to succeed. So we will not be the first ones. Yes? So let us not fear failing, but we should not give up on ourselves. Then the other thing that I think is also important is taking baby steps, starting small. I mentioned earlier alone on procrastinating, piling up a number of things and you're not even doing them. Yes? How then will you witness growth? Yes? So we are going to take baby steps this year. We are going to start small. Yes? Believing in ourselves. And even if you're going to start small, please do not overwhelm yourself. You know yourself. You know what can work for you and what cannot work for you. Do not overwhelm yourself. You're not competing with anyone this year. Can you be honest with yourself? Yes? So start small. Do what is workable. Let your goals be measurable. Let them be realistic. Yes? Let them be time bound. So I hope that this year we are really getting out of our comfort zones. And by the time the year comes to an end, we'll have really seen and witnessed a lot of growth and expansion, a lot of bearing of fruits. We are people of faith. We are going to let God in our lives. We are going to let Him order our steps. Taking the step of faith, start small. Yes, do what is workable, and we are going to get out of our comfort zones. Stay blessed, and may the Lord bless you.